And then Street Fighter, Chun-Li.
Chun-Li, yeah.
I don't skip leg day in
them
Chun-Li.
thighs,
Them
though.
Thick thighs save
So-
lives.
Yes,
man.
them thighs and lives.
And they do that too.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nerd On, the podcast you didn't need, but you deserve, and where all levels of nerd are welcome.
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
There's a lot of them, actually.
I thought you said a lot of them, and I was like, I mean, when you say all levels.
All levels, it kind of does.
You'd think it'd be
The nerdy
everybody.
We do have a special guest in today. I'm very excited about this because we met, Discord is kind of like a forum. We met via a Podern family, so to speak, Discord server, and I had mentioned, we're going to be in San Diego Comic-Con for press, and you reached out and were like, come and check us out.
Yeah.
And so Tom and I, we met you at the Hasbro booth.
Uh-huh.
Could you go ahead and tell our audience about you and maybe your show a little bit? Because we're going to talk a lot more about it later.
Okay. Awesome. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Isaiah Frizzelle, and I am... What do I say? The producer, founder of the host of Bird Brain Podcast.
You are Bird Brain.
I am the Bird Brain Podcast. But in short, the podcast itself is a bit of a hybrid. It's all about health and horror. Someone put it that way. It's about Mondays is all about perspective and cleaning that heart space, and then Friday we just get down and dirty and we narrate some horror stories.
Nice.
So yeah, it's short, and then when I met these guys at Hasbro Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, just hanging out with the Transformers, nerding out a little bit. They popped up, and it was match made. It was like sparks from there, and it was like, the rest has been history. So yeah,
we'll dig in a little bit more later into that love. But let's get into a little bit of the housekeeping.
Yes.
I am Josh.
I'm Caitlin.
Corey.
And I'm Tom. And I am Ali.
And this episode is brought to you in part by the members of the Nerd On Nation that is powered by
Patreon.
The Nerd On Nation allows us to keep on growing and to keep the lights on. With Nerd On Nation, you get all sorts of really fun stuff like bonus episodes, the Discord server where you get to talk to us and fellow fans of Nerd On. All sorts of stuff, early access, discounts, fun stuff. Check it out, nerdon.io/Patreon. And also, this episode is brought to you in part by our friends over at Comixology, the internet's #1 source for comic books.
If you wanted to read comic books like Transformers, you can learn all about the lore of the Primes and the Matrix of Leadership, but also the history of Unicron and all of the creation of all life and sentient forms of machines.
Played.
deep.
And where's that link, Tom?
It's nerdon.io/Comixology.
Some people might say it's the #1 source
for internet comic books.
I feel like what we need to do is we need to get one of those, like a little ding, when anytime he actually reads something that is just so scripted. But yeah, that's the housekeeping.
That was off the cuff.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about this. So everyone at home listening in, I'm super excited because we haven't had like another podcast on our show in a long time.
Oh, okay.
And I love the ideology of bringing in more podcasters as well as hosts and people who have shows, and we talk about it, but also how they all coalesce and how we are one big family.
Absolutely.
It's that hashtag Podern family.
Yeah. And so what we're going to do for the first half, we're going to talk about you, Isaiah. We're going to talk about your nerdiness and like how the way that your what's it called, Corey?
Tree of Nerdom.
Tree of Nerdom.
How did it grow?
Came to be.
Yeah.
And then the later half, we'll talk about the Bird Brain podcast.
Dope.
Yeah.
And also Night Owl.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
So I mean, give us a spiel. So again, I came in this a little blind, and I was like, oh yeah, we met at Hasbro. He's all about Transformers. But we were texting a little bit, and you said, no man, I'm a huge nerd. I love everything. So give us the gamut.
Where did it all start?
Oh man, so I'd say honestly, my nerdom, it started from a kid. I was a big nerd. So basically, with me growing up, and I remember this specifically. So as a kid, we would go to the dojo on Saturdays.
Oh.
I was in martial arts since I was a kid, but I remember.
So you're already cooler than all of us.
No.
No, it kind of sounds like you are.
Do you mind if I ask what form did you study?
So I studied Shotokan karate.
Wow.
My sister and I little backstory with that. My sister, she was put into the dojo at 4, and I was put in at 6. She's 4 years older than me. She became the first female black belt in our dojo.
Whoa.
Nice.
And I was like, my mom threw me in after. I was like, I don't want to do this. But I was in the dojo for a good 8 years, 9 years, black belt. And this all happened. So with this, Power Rangers, X-Men was a big part of my childhood.
Hell
X-Men.
Yeah. So yes, the original cartoon was my life. On Saturday mornings, I would get up, watch X-Men, and my biggest, even still to this day, my favorite mutant was Phoenix, or is Phoenix.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Good choice.
Yeah, love her. Whenever I have this argument, people are like, "Oh yeah, I'm Team Wolverine." I'm like, "Get the hell out of here! It's all about Phoenix. Are you kidding me?" And they're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because this woman literally, she can destroy a universe with just her mind. So for me, it's brain over brawn.
The embodiment of life.
Yes, yes. All things life she can get rid of in with just a thought process. So to me, Phoenix was always my favorite, and I aligned with her for some reason. I was like, I don't know what this means. I was like, am I dark?
So maybe we should be careful.
Yeah, be careful. But
Turn on us here.
but yeah, that was my push into just being like this nerdy kid. Also, I was very much about gadgets. Growing up, I used to take apart remotes.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
I was very much on a computer all the time. I loved animals, and I drew a lot growing up. I used to draw a lot of anime. Like that was my
Hell yeah. What kind of anime, baby?
It spans. So of course everybody starts out with like Dragon Ball Z,
Hell
Sailor
yeah.
Moon. that was my thing.
Muscles
but,
and all the places that it doesn't really make sense.
And it's like I remember there was
Just those power stances and like
But it was funny. There was one drawing in particular I'll never forget. I was about 12 or 13, and my mom, I showed her this one drawing of this girl I drew. She was like, "Why are her boobs so big?" She's like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, that's anime. That's how it looks. Everything's very
excuse me.
exaggerated.
Yeah, it's like
You should see the guys.
Right. It's like, do you not understand? So for the longest time, and even now, still to this day, I've always been in that realm. And my friend now, she calls me a nerd. She's like, "You're such a nerd." She's like, "You're a low-key
Thank you. Thank you for
nerd." I'm like,
noticing.
"That's so nice."
Thank you.
Thank you. So
Does
yeah.
like kind of a little princess like
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, stop, I'm blushing. But it was, I'd say that was my introduction into it. And to the point, like, when I was in 7th grade, my cousin and I, we used to watch Dragon Ball Z over the summer.
Mhm.
And for me, that was like life.
Tom.
It was like, forget it. It was like, we come home 5
Yeah.
o'clock, Dragon Ball Z was on, and every day it was like, it was dramatic. That was the extent of what was going on in my life. It was like,
hell
It's a soap opera.
yeah, it's a soap opera. Like Frieza and Goku about to bang it out. They're about to have it out, and I don't know what to do with this. It's like we have to be home to see how
He just
this
killed his best
transpires.
friend. What's
Yeah.
going to happen? Like,
What's going on?
It's like, it's like, where is his son?
What's
his son
his
was so
next
bad.
Right. That's
Oh
what
my
it was. So it's like my 7th grade summer was spent watching DBZ, but Ronin Warriors growing up was my
Warriors,
yeah.
dude.
That's a classic. And I asked people about it. I'm like, "Do you know Ronin Warriors?" They're like, "No." I'm
The
like,
two
"All right, I
katanas
can't
that
talk to
become
you."
one thing?
Yes.
Hell yeah, dude.
Arrow Shockwave.
Oh, it's so
Oh my
fun.
That
God.
sounds so familiar.
Yeah, but I'm not a
Right
nerd
now.
or anything like that.
This
It's-
was-
no.
When
I-
a massive nerd
when
on
I
that
watched-
thing
No
right
nerd,
now.
no nerd.
No nerd, no nerd.
When I watched Ronin Warriors, it was like before, so it was like at 3 o'clock on the same channel
Oh
that would
my
have
God, I
Tsunami.
remember this show.
It'd be
Yeah.
right before like Sailor Moon or like
Yeah.
right before Gundam.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah.
that's what I'm into. Like,
Yeah.
This cool stuff. Yeah. And like they had all the like long 90 mullets.
It was
Oh.
real.
And there was like a tiger.
Yes. Yeah.
And those times, I mean, we don't have the binge. We didn't have the binge
God.
culture. So if you missed it,
Oh, you missed
You
it?
missed
you
it.
missed it.
Yeah.
Unless there was like a rerun later, but
Yeah.
very rarely was there.
Mhm.
It's like real game. Like I won't find out if I'm not home by 5.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
not able to watch this.
Yes.
The internet was a thing. So I remember seeing images like from Japan of like Goku being Super Saiyan 3. And I was
Yeah.
like, and then I was so worried I was going to miss the episode he would turn.
That
He
would
would turn.
happen.
Oh,
right.
And I
yeah.
remember
Right.
crying one day because my dad's like, "Oh, we gotta go grocery." I was like, "Why now?" and I was like,
My show's on.
"My stories,
stories.
like that's
Oh,
it.
man.
Grandpa Tom got to watch his stories.
So Isaiah, who is your favorite Dragon Ball Z character?
Oh.
Oh.
That's a big question.
Who's my favorite Dragon Ball?
Who is the best dad? Also,
Who's the best dad?
Piccolo. The-
You know what? I think I'm definitely Team Piccolo.
Yes.
Yeah. It was.
What are the choices
Yeah,
otherwise?
yeah.
Angry guy?
A lot.
Stupidly
choices.
happy wants to fight guy?
Yes.
Krillin?
Vegeta.
Right.
Vegeta's
That's
pretty,
its
all
own
day.
category.
Vegeta's a pretty good dad. He'll punch his son and be like, okay, let's go to the park.
Yeah. He's like,
That's
all right,
not
let's
a
go
good
now.
dad. No, you don't punch your children and say, it's fine, let's go play.
If
I'm
they
doing
want
this
to
'cause
be,
I
Walk
love
it
you.
off.
if
They
they
want
want
to be
the
the greatest Saiyan of all
Oh my
time.
God, I
do.
regret.
they are
I
the
regret.
prince.
You know what's
I
funny though?
love it.
I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z as well, and Piccolo's still my favorite. But as an
Mhm.
adult, after consuming more media, I actually really love Krillin.
Krillin's a good
Really?
guy. Krillin's like
Yeah.
the most powerful human on that
right,
planet.
because he's just a
He-
dude.
He's a human.
That's
He's doing
true.
his best. I give him that.
He's
but
Goku's best friend, and he has a hot wife, and he lost all his hair, and then grew it back, and then lost it again.
Yeah.
He's a human.
He's going through the
Amongst
process.
Saiyans.
Yeah.
He's
That's dope.
Saitama from One Punch Man, but shorter.
Yeah.
I love One Punch Man.
Well, hold on. We didn't. What's your
Sorry,
favorite?
sorry,
What's
sorry,
your favorite
sorry.
character?
On DBZ?
DBZ.
I'd definitely say Piccolo. And the reason why is
oh,
because
yes.
it's like I watched DBZ back in the day when fillers has become such a thing now.
Is it the driving episode?
I don't even know. I just like I stopped watching. I don't watch DBZ as much anymore because I'm like, oh man, now they're like level saying 20. His hair grows, it turns colors, and it goes back.
Well, they're
It's like,
gods
I don't
now.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
They're
Now everybody's a
They're
god.
literally
So
gods.
It's not
I
aliens, it's
watched
gods.
DBZ back in the day.
in the day.
Yeah.
And I think Piccolo. Now that you guys are saying it, because I was like, I thought Trunks was cool. I thought he was pretty dope. But
I knew so many girls
Piccolo-
that had a crush on Trunks.
Yeah, I mean Trunks
Well,
is he's a ham.
He's
Yeah.
cute.
Piccolo's arc,
Yeah.
Piccolo's arc
He's
from
cute.
being
Yeah.
a villain
He's
I'm
cute
not
or
gonna.
whatever.
to a
Whatever.
hero is.
Well, he has a good positive arc,
Yeah, he's a
So
villain in Dragon Ball, and then
but Vegeta has a quote unquote better positive arc,
right.
or
Right.
a more sacrificial one
Yes.
because Piccolo becomes like surrogate dad.
Yeah.
Vegeta becomes sacrificial dad.
Yeah.
And then
Interesting.
Goku just has the flat arc, and he makes everyone else around him better.
Yeah.
Positive.
Goku is very I don't want to say very like mayonnaise, but I think
Vanilla.
Goku is like
What's wrong? Wait, hold up. What's wrong with mayonnaise?
I like mayo, but it's Goku for me. He becomes the although he has flaws, there's not much
to him.
to him.
Yeah.
yeah,
He has no arc.
yeah.
He has a flat arc.
Yeah,
There's nothing happening
right.
to him. Yeah.
And in the beginning, like everybody wants to be Goku, but I think as you get older and you learn more about yourself in terms of like, oh, I have moments where I'm broken and I feel weak. It's like you start to identify with characters that look like
Well,
that.
you identify
Yeah.
with Vegeta a lot.
Vegeta, yeah, his
'Cause
hair I just can't get past. I'm
Oh, I
like,
love it.
somebody brush my man's hair, like fix him up. That's why he's angry. It's like it's just uphill. It's like I understand.
I like
Vegeta.
that. That
Product
is the
does he have in
Yeah.
there? Man?
But
That is the
Showers
decision process.
Yeah,
That
Character's cool, but that hair.
that hair though. It's like
whack.
somebody help him.
that's actually what Akira Toriyama caught on was actually like with Dragon Ball that
Yeah.
young Goku was like this kid who's like hapless but he's like super strong but like he can lose.
Yes.
He loses and he learns and he's just like, oh, I'm just gonna get
Rocky.
stronger.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people like that because before like most arcs it's like I want the thing, I get the thing, and it's done. This
It
was
is
like
done.
I get I want the thing, I don't get the thing, but the life goes on.
Yeah.
And then it kind of stopped because he just became like the bar of like this is the strongest you'll ever be.
yeah. That's why I like Naruto a lot. Just because of I identify with Naruto specifically a lot. Like just in like
You like run through leave.
yeah, I run through
villages.
leaves with my arms out, and it's like believe
Shout out
it.
to the Area 51 guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's with him, Naruto, he is a prime example of what life is in terms of you want something so bad and you grow up in an environment where people doubt you a lot.
Mhm.
And it's like, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do no matter what.
Hmm.
And even if they don't believe it, I believe it.
Believe it.
Mhm.
Believe it. Yeah. So
for the uncultured at home, Naruto's a ninja show.
yes.
And Naruto's this blonde kid who is an orphan,
Yeah.
and he wants to become the greatest ninja of his village, called the Hokage. And even though he's like this juvenile adolescent, and he has like a bunch of rambunctious tendencies, like there's the prodigies who are smarter than him. There are people who are like stronger than him. He never stops believing in himself.
Yeah.
And that's the really cool thing. I mean, but the thing is like, so when I started like falling in love with Vegeta,
Yeah.
even with his whack ass hair, I really align with those characters who, because there's the Naruto and there's the Gokus and there's like the Superman, right? And then there's like
Yeah.
the Batman, the Vegeta, and the Sasuke's who are like, they're not the greatest and they know who are quote unquote is going to be the hero of the show, but they're the ones that like are always one step behind. And it's
Yeah.
I always kind of resonated with that character because it's like they use their anger and the negativity in their life as a positive
That's a through
force.
line, yeah. absolutely.
Where like Naruto and Goku and Superman are always just like, it's good. I'm a good guy. It's like, all right.
Sorry, could you? I missed the. What was that again?
Yeah, do that
'Cause
again.
I'm a good guy. And it's like, I mean, it's like, I think those are nice ideals to, as Jor-El says, to strive towards. But Sasuke and Vegeta to me are more realistic because it's like you see the goal and you're always short from it, but it never stops you.
I like that. I like Sasuke too, though. Like, don't get me wrong.
He's
Sasuke,
he's kind of a bitch though.
Yeah,
Sasuke,
he
he's-
is. though.
it was funny. Sasuke is another one where it's like, or Naruto, that show. When I was in college, I was going through a weird situation with one of my best friends, and the situation between Naruto and Sasuke kind of reflected my situation between me and my best friend.
So who was the Naruto? Who was the Sasuke?
Well,
Oh,
Depends on who you ask.
yeah, depends on who you ask, right?
who had the Chidori? Who had the Rasengan?
I was definitely Sasuke in someone's eyes, but I think overall it was just one of those things of like, what are you willing to do for a friendship or somebody that you care about, and knowing that no matter what you do, they're still going to choose their own path. Woo!
Like an ass. Like
So yeah,
Anime is
Stop
so
crying.
good.
I'm not crying. You're crying. Anime is real.
everyone at
Anime is
home.
very real.
Yeah.
Everyone at home. Spoilers. Sasuke leaves the village, and Naruto. Even everyone tells him, no, he betrayed the village. He's like, no, he's my friend. I'm gonna get him back.
I'm gonna get my home.
And then Sasuke says, no, fuck you. I left.
right,
It's
right,
like,
right.
what the fuck?
Yeah,
It's
that was
so
a lot.
sad.
But I like Sasuke too because he's going on his own journey in terms of like he kind of embraces the darkness a little bit more.
I
You know what
think
mean?
that's the thing. Like, I like Keanu Reeves talks
Yeah.
about it a lot, where he's like, people think that their lives have to have like nothing but filled with
Light,
purity and
right,
happiness.
right.
But it's like, if you learn to balance it and learn to like kind of just continually outwardly making good things happen, you could still live with the darkness inside.
Absolutely.
And like, yeah, just because you had a bad day doesn't mean you have to make everyone else's life bad. And using those like give you more experience and mature you as an adult, as a
Right.
human.
right.
So like I like that too. And like, spoilers, you find out like they are able to coexist. The person who's purely the beacon of hope and
It's
so on.
spoilers, but Naruto has a kid now, and there's a whole new show called Boruto. So
Son of a whole
it's, it's been
family
a
now.
while.
Yeah.
The show has been running a long time. So
Really
sorry
long
for
time.
spoilers, but it's been like a decade.
I
Yeah.
haven't.
It's your fault if you don't know what's going on.
Not your fault. Just it's been around for a really
It's
long
been
time.
around.
Hey, look,
the
I don't-
internet has probably spoiled at least this part.
The only
for you.
reason
Everything.
The only
Yeah.
reason I say spoilers is because I used to say, "Hey, fuck spoilers," but then everyone's like, "But Tom," then I was like, "Oh well, jeez."
Yeah.
If you really cared, you would have watched it.
Right. That's true.
But Tom,
but Tom,
So up until 7th grade, it was DBZ.
Yeah.
And did that continue? Like what as you
games or
games. I don't play them much anymore, but Final Fantasy, I was a big
Which
Final
one?
Fantasy.
Josh is like victory.
which one? Which ones?
So my favorites, still to this day, my favorites, 7.
Of course.
I knew it. I
and,
knew.
and Final Fantasy 10.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
All right. All
I
right.
love that one.
Yeah.
I have logged over
I love
600
that.
hours.
I thought you
into
went.
that
I
game.
love that one. I was like,
No, not you. Yeah.
I'm 8 all day, baby.
That's fine. That's fine.
10
8
was
all day.
10 was
It's
very
cute.
divisive.
Squall's
but-
the-
Eight's
Yeah,
cute.
it's
Oh,
cute.
no.
I mean,
That's like when somebody goes, "That's interesting."
right.
Oh.
Bless your heart.
Don't worry. I'm Crystal Chronicles.
Oh
Crystal-
no! Now you're gonna say tactics.
I love Crystal Chronicles.
It
You
is
play-
great.
You play with the
Corey,
Game Boy.
It is great. You're amazing.
And then you have a little chibi boys.
Don't go changing.
Right.
Crystal
Don't
Yeah,
Chronicles.
change.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
great.
It's super fun.
So
Go
Final
home and play
Fantasy
Chrono Trigger by myself.
Akira Toriyama character designs. So Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 10. I mean, what kind of brought you into that? Like it's RPG, Japanese, the PlayStation brand versus like Nintendo or Xbox or.
Well, it's so funny. I think I discovered Final Fantasy by accident because I had got a PlayStation.
It
We-
found
we-
you.
We right. It was waiting for me.
Destiny.
So we had a Sega Genesis growing up, and since we were in martial arts, Mortal Kombat was our thing, and Street Fighter was our thing. So my sister and I, we would go head in head.
Who's
and,
your go-to in Mortal Kombat?
my go-to in Mortal Kombat was Katana.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah, my go-to.
Really good choice.
I don't know, something about like strong women I love.
Hell yeah.
and-
Suddenly, Ollie's
yeah.
like, did we just become best friends?
we just become best friends.
Yeah, and Katana was my homie in Mortal Kombat, and in Street Fighter, Chun-Li.
Chun-Li, yeah.
I don't skip leg day in
Them
Chun-Li.
thighs,
The
though.
Thick
thighs save
So-
lives.
Yeah.
man.
Them thighs and lives.
And they do
Yes.
that too.
My God.
Actually.
So
I was cheap as fuck. I used Dulcim all day.
Oh,
we
my
just reached
sister.
across the map at you
His
real
long
quick.
ass
Yeah.
legs.
She
What was
was
the guy
I
with
related
blades?
to his long limbs. Okay.
What was the guy with blades? Vega?
Vega.
Vega.
That was your dude?
Yeah, he was
With the mask?
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
mask.
I
For some-
love knocking his
He
mask off.
climbed the
Yes.
end
Felt
of
good.
the
Yeah.
Sagat.
Yeah.
Sagat all day.
Yeah.
Sagat?
Sagat.
I
Because
can
he's,
see that.
he's Thai boy. I'm Thai boy.
I thought you would have been Bison, to be honest.
Because of who I am.
Yeah.
But Sagat, because he's Thai. And I was like, yeah.
Gotcha.
And that's how Ryu won the first thing.
Yeah.
But then in Mortal Kombat, Baraka.
Yeah.
Them blades.
Oh.
Them evil ass looking dude.
I
You
was
like
cliche.
the dark guys.
Yeah.
Scorpion.
Scorps?
Totally
Yeah.
cliche.
Come here.
I was Raiden, actually.
It was like the back square. I
Raiden's
forget
dope.
what did the.
Raiden was... I just liked going across the map going...
I feel like Ali and I are like, we didn't play those.
No?
No.
I think the only
Missing
thing
out.
I've ever done is like played footsie with someone else.
What was
Like
the?
I just wanted to see how close we could get pixel wise to like getting our feet
Even
to
the
touch
cabinets are
without
fun.
injuring each
Yeah.
other.
Right.
Okay.
What was
Were
the
you
one that
selling?
came out? It was like a few years ago. It was like the first.
Mortal Kombat.
No, the first Street Fighter for a while.
Oh.
Was it
Street
three?
Fighter, Street
Oh.
Fighter
Super-
5.
I think it was
Five.
3.
Street
I think it's
Fighter,
free.
like Third Strike or
Five.
whatever?
No, just Street Fighter 3 was that it? Or 4?
Yes.
Something
Yeah.
came out like.
Well, no,
and it had
Super.
been a long time
It's
since.
Super.
It was
Street
kind of
Fighter
like
Super.
painterly
Yeah.
new
Yes.
graphics.
Of course,
Yeah.
you'll find out right
It was
now.
Street
weird.
Fighter
Like kind of
Super.
3D. That was the only one I played, but we played it a lot. I just can't remember
Okay.
what characters I
I
used.
Street
didn't-
Fighter Super.
I didn't play a lot of fighting games
Street
because I
Fighter
was so
Super?
terrible at them.
Oh, really?
I was a
Oh,
button
that's what it was.
masher.
I'm a button
Like
masher.
playing Smash
Yeah.
with
I don't-
Tom,
Is the
I
worst.
might as well just check out. Like, it's like, I'm like, and he knows.
Well, no.
He knows the way of the Smash.
So,
Yeah.
so you've played fighting games now, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, Smash Bros, Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur was.
Okay.
My
But-
game was Tekken and Soul Calibur.
But
So that's why
Tekken
I don't.
was another one.
I didn't
Yeah.
play those.
But the thing
yeah.
is with Tekken, Tekken and Street Fighter, I don't particularly like those ones because they're like you have to move, and so your character's like doing this like Michael Jackson
Oh, you have to move?
and then you press a
Oh.
button. But then like, but no, like Soul
Darn.
Calibur and Smash Bros, it's more like the direction
Technique.
is based on where you're around the
Well, there's
other characters.
It's an X and Y.
Well, no,
You
it's
can also-
more like they're like you can have combos and you can air like juggle people, but like Tekken, you're like back left, half circle, then press a button.
Mhm.
Where it's like I didn't even touch you for 4 buttons. When in Soul Calibur, it's like one direction, hit a button.
Oh, yeah.
Smash Bros, hit a button,
okay.
hit a direction. It's like those are more hand-eye coordination. Where like Street
Not
Fighter, it's like
memory.
memory. Like
You gotta
I
remember
gotta know how
combos.
to do that, and especially if he's over here, I'm doing that. And also in Tekken and Street Fighter, you're like the block button's back.
Yeah.
It's not just a
Mhm.
button.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Who needs block?
I do.
Go ham, baby.
Because then you
Go
press block
ham.
and then attack at the same time, and that's
Go
grab.
hammer, get out.
Because that's
Right.
actually how like I think Dragon Ball Z fighting games are too, where it's like block and attack are at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Note to self: do not be on Ali's team. Cool.
But
Noted.
But Final Fantasy, that was I came into it because there was like a little demo disc and Final Fantasy VII was on it, and I was
remember
like,
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the demo discs will get you
Yeah.
every
live.
time.
I was like, oh hell yeah! I was like, I don't know what's going on, but the summons and the mage have always been my favorite parts of
Yep.
every Final
Yeah,
of
Fantasy
course.
game.
Yep.
You're like,
This
what
guy's
does
hitting
Ifrit look
notes on
like?
each and every
Oh,
one
yeah.
of
I
us.
got you guys. I got you guys.
My favorite thing is like, what is Bahamut gonna look like in this Final
Okay.
Fantasy?
Yeah. Wait, which one?
Like, what's Bahamut gonna look like in this
Yes.
one? Like,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
Ifrit gonna look
Ifrit.
like?
Yeah, it's
Like-
Shiva.
Oh,
Shiva, what is she
Shiva.
gonna be? A motorcycle? All
That
right,
was my
whatever.
girl. Yeah, Shiva's my homie, but Lulu in Final Fantasy
Yeah.
X was
Ooh.
my girl.
I wonder what her budget for belts is.
Right.
I like the thing that she collects them along her travels
Right,
and just
she's
adds
like,
them
Oh,
on.
she just finds them.
Yeah,
Right.
it just adds them
Like
to
on the
her
side of the
collection.
road,
Dead
like when you
body?
see the shoes on the side of the
Yeah.
freeway, you're like, I could wear that.
That's right.
It's for how many people she's killed.
I was gonna say, yeah. Those are like
Oh.
those are bodies of people she's turned into voodoo dolls.
Takes their belt
Oh, yeah,
after.
yeah.
That's what happens in Sin City with Marv. It's like that's a nice coat, and
Uh-huh.
he kills him, takes a coat.
Uh-huh.
That's
But does he wear them all at the same time though?
No, that'd be crazy.
See, Lulu
No.
wears
All-
everything.
all
It's just like this by the end.
Welcome to
Too
the
many
Belt
coats.
Emporium.
Like that kid from what was it,
Christmas
Big Little
Story.
League,
Oh,
when he's wrapped in like the foam thing, and he's like,
yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
But yeah, those are I feel like I don't know about you guys, but so after 10, the game system kind of got weird. They introduced like this
Yeah.
kind of
10-2?
like
Or
Oh,
10-2
well, they had
with the
ABS.
dresses. I was like, what?
Oh, well, I mean, they still had some turn-based, but they had the ABS.
playing dress
10-2, you
up.
could kind of get through it. It was still kind of like class. If you got past all that,
love
it was like,
10-2.
okay, it's like a hot swap
I
class
like it too.
system. I
Yeah.
can get behind that kind of. I
Yeah.
played
Once
through
they
it.
left turn based, I was
But
out.
after
No,
that,
there's still turn-based in that one. It's
It is.
It
Yeah.
is.
But
It's
it was
100%
like
turn-based.
Dresses.
I like
and I was
that.
like,
I'm
this
Well,
cool
it's
with
like 11 was the MMO, and then 12
Yeah.
was like the offline MMO in
Yes.
a weird way. It was
Actual
like
12.
Yeah.
you don't get to control everybody. You can program them to
Right.
be your
It was
friendly
weird.
AI. It was just like,
Yeah.
I miss controlling each character individually.
Right. I feel like it was more strategy that went into it. And
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's like when you played 7 and 10, it was more of like, okay, how am I
And
gonna and 8. Oh, and 8. I'm sorry.
I'm over it, guys.
You look over it.
I've been playing
You
on the
do.
Switch. I'm fine.
Nine gets
I
no
was gonna
love.
say a poor
9
9.
gets
No
zero
one's talking
love.
about 9 at
Nice.
all.
No.
That's good.
9 is
Nine's a throwback.
That's okay.
If you can
That's right.
ride the nostalgia train,
yeah.
then you'll be fine. But
It was 9 was
Like I said, I've been playing 8 on the Switch.
nine is
Great.
like nine is a remake of 5 as far as I'm concerned. Because
Okay.
5 is very much like these characters don't really have names, but they are
Right.
like a class. Like you're the mage and it looks like VV and it looks like, like whatever.
9,
That was kind of the point.
9 I had an issue with because you could get so OP. Like by the final boss, my Orin basically took out the final boss like that.
Well, your
And I
magic
was
spell,
like-
you could target every enemy like you could target an individual enemy or all enemies and it didn't like cost more
Yeah.
or do less damage.
Yeah.
You're like,
Poor
okay,
9.
why would
so
I
it was
not
just lazy.
select
Yeah.
everybody?
That's what it sounds like. It like 9 was lazy.
Wow.
Like, should it cost more? Would we have to program that? Yeah. No.
Yeah. I was like, no, we're not doing that. Kill everything.
Yeah.
You know.
People will love it.
So
Yeah.
what are you currently nerding on about right now? Like what's I mean, this is I think right now we're kind of in like a golden age right now. Like
Yeah.
animes are coming back, video games are like next gen graphics, like TV shows, everything.
Movies are getting
A lot of
nerdier and
video game
nerdier.
remakes.
Yeah. I think what am I nerding on right now? It's kind
What are you
of
anticipating?
That's an even bigger question.
that is a big
Damn.
question. What am I anticipating? I will say I rewatched Soul Eater
Oh,
because that was like one
Yeah.
of my favorite.
I never got
anime.
into that.
Ooh.
tell me
It's
on that.
good.
Tell me about it. Tell me
So Soul Eater is about this chick, she's just living her best life, Maka. She's
Shout out.
She goes to the shout out to Maka.
Thank you for embracing that.
She goes to Death Academy where when you're paired with a weapon, which is called, she's a Meister, you're paired with a death weapon. And throughout the whole process, she's learning how to kind of coexist with her weapon, and she's learning about herself. And there's these witches that they have to defeat. And I think she's another kind of Naruto, but with less of an arc. I feel like,
Mm.
in terms of her growth,
Mhm.
but it's still pretty intense as it's going through the storyline. And it gets dark, in my opinion.
Real dark.
It gets very dark.
Yeah.
It's called Soul Eater.
The more you know. Yeah.
Well,
It's
and
called
she's
Soul Eater.
training to be like a Grim Reaper.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
traded to be a Grim Reaper.
I want to see this.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very good. And that was like one of the first animes I think I rewatched. And I was like, I'm going to watch it again from the beginning.
So it's a completed show.
It's a
done.
completed show.
There's only a couple. I don't.
Seasons.
Yeah, it's pretty short,
Oh.
but
Yeah.
it's completely self-contained, and
Mhm.
it goes deep and real dark.
Yes.
Of
I'm
like-
glazing it, but it goes very dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is there a lot of fight sequences?
Oh, it's all
Tons.
fighting.
It's
so it's
pretty much
it's shonen-ish.
Eh,
Dragon Ball, Full Metal Alchemist,
yes.
Dragon Ball.
I'd
It's
say more
kind of
Full
like-
Metal, right?
Yeah, more Full Metal because there's a lot of fighting and
art's
stuff,
really
but
cool.
it's also
Yeah.
like basically they're in high school, but they've changed everything because it's the Death Academy and there's like magic and
Harry Potter, but death.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
If,
yeah.
if
got
it
me.
was if it was the Dementors going to school and they were like high school kids.
Right.
Damn.
Right.
They just suck
The-
into life out of all the gingers around. Jeez.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Poor
kinda.
Ron. Poor Ron.
Now I want to see that show.
Yeah.
No, it's a
JK,
really
get on
great
it.
show.
Yeah.
The-
It's
the-
amazing.
There's a
on,
lot of great
Netflix
music
and
in
Hulu.
there, and
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Oh.
Oh,
worth
I meant like the Harry
Oh.
Potter death, like that show of the Harry
My
Potter.
mistake.
And it fits your theme of liking strong female characters because the
Yeah.
story is very much about her journey and how she deals with things and how she and her weapon like come together
cool.
to like help each other grow, and it's not mushy.
Yes. It's not mushy at all. It's
Damn it. I'm
It's
kidding.
more. I feel,
Sorry.
like, I feel like it's more realistic in terms of. I like realism in the sense of where you're not seeing everything be happy. Like the growth process is not.
Hell yeah.
And Tom's back. Yeah.
right.
Hell yeah.
I like the darker stuff. So with this Soul Eater, I think is the reason why I did rewatch it was because it's very much It's darker, and I also like the theme song of the second season.
Oh yeah.
Black Paper Moon. Oh, I even have that on my playlist for
Hell
when I go
yeah.
to the gym.
Hell
so it's
yeah.
like
Nice.
I
There's so
enjoy-
many good songs in anime
Yeah.
that are
Oh,
perfect
yeah.
for working
Have you
out.
seen that one video of the black kid who does the dance every time an anime theme comes on? It's the best video of all time. You can put
I gotta
any,
check it out.
It's so good. Any type of anime theme you can put him in. He's just doing the
Oh,
same
that
move.
dude in the black
And
with the
Yeah.
white t-shirt
T-shirt out of it.
underneath, and
Oh,
he's
it's so
like,
good. Yeah, it's so good.
He's killing
I'll
it.
show
"Oh
that
yeah,
for the
Please
show.
send it to me.
he's all in."
It's
Yeah.
universal.
Yeah.
I love it. But there's nothing I'm really anticipating now. I have a lot of books I need to get through.
Oh, like what?
I'm a
Ooh.
big bookworm.
Oh,
kind of
so-
books?
so-
The books that are on my stand right now are Stephen King.
Oh, actual
The
books.
Stranger. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
physical books. Oh yeah,
I only
I'm
read
old
book.
school.
He's comic book.
I read
Oh,
I
your
read the one
comic
with the
books.
pictures.
Oh no.
Oh.
There's like some heavy books I have right now. Stephen King is one, and then I have there's another one called Holding Smoke. There's a personal development book that I have
Nice.
sitting there, and also I have to finish writing my own book.
Ooh.
And then come
Yeah.
back when it's done.
Yeah,
and
come
promote
back
it.
when it's done, and then I'll tell you guys. But it's
Hell
like
yeah.
right as of late, I haven't been watching too much TV. I've watched Mindhunter, been into that.
Oh,
series.
yeah.
We just
That,
did an
that
episode
darker
on that.
stuff. Right?
Yeah. Oh,
If I can ask, what genre of book do you find yourself reading the most? Like, what's your favorite? What's your go-to?
my go-to is literally, which is kind of funny. That my podcast is the same way, but it's literally horror and self-help.
Oh.
There,
you go.
there it is.
Yeah.
I was gonna
So-
say that's probably the options there.
What is it about horror for the East Coast people?
Uh-huh.
Horror and horror for the West Coast people that you like?
Water. Yeah, I'm a Jersey boy, so it's like I say certain things.
No,
I have
no, no, no.
accents, but yeah.
When I
Oh,
hear
you're from
ho-
Jersey?
Yeah.
There you
when
go.
I hear
Jersey.
horror, I'm like, that's East Coast. Thing.
Yeah.
But
Little horror.
what's the thing about those two, or that about horror that you like? What draws you into it?
You know what's
The
funny?
darker stuff.
That's what it is. It's the dark stuff. Because for me, it's
I'm
like
sensing
I
a
don't.
theme.
Yeah, there's definitely
It's
a
like
theme.
because I'm also into like
Horror.
dark comedy
Horror.
and horror and stuff like that. Like I like the darker things as well. And it's
Yeah.
just that like you get to experience something you don't get in day-to-day life.
Yep.
And then B, it's like the shitty things that happen to you, they don't seem so bad once you're like, oh, they cut off all his fingers. That's cool. Like
I got my fingertips
it's
still.
kind of challenging your
That way
your
Monday
day-to-day.
doesn't feel so bad.
Right. Right. It is
For me
a-
at least.
It's I've always I think liked horror just
Mhm.
because I think I just always liked the darker side of things. And for the self-help and everything, that's also a part of me too. So if you guys are into astrology, my moon is Libra.
Wait, what the hell?
So
Wait, when's
I'm a Aries sun
Oh.
sign, Taurus rising, Libra moon. So it's like my emotions deal with the Libra.
Yep.
So it's a balancing of the
I'm
scales.
I think I'm a Libra, and then something else.
You're
Yeah.
a double Libra.
Yeah.
I'm October 3rd.
His rising is
Yeah.
Libra.
Yeah.
So your rising is Libra.
And his Libra.
I don't know what rising means though.
So your
Moon
rising
sign.
is basically what you put into the world. Your moon sign is basically
How
what
you
your
feel on the
emotions are.
inside.
Exactly.
Oh, I think I think my moon's totally
See,
something
for me,
different.
I'm Virgo rising. Pisces is my actual sign, and then another Virgo.
Wow.
moon.
Oh, so you're
Yeah.
very systematic then, no?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
As a
No.
Virgo,
I'm
no.
I'm Pisces to the core.
So
like
you go
even though
with the
my
waves?
rising and moon are Virgo, like I'm Pisces all day.
Interesting.
Emotions lead everything. Pretty much I do.
Well,
And
he is
I'm not good with money.
Well,
so,
he is a boy, so he has XY chromosome, but
Yeah,
then it's-
right.
it's the Y that matters.
yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. So for me, I think I literally horror I've liked just because it was always there's something there's a mystique behind horror. I think
Yeah.
when it's done right.
Okay.
Like,
Mm.
okay, any horror films that you can kind of tell me a little bit more?
Ooh.
Which ones that you're like that has the mystique, the thing you like?
He's gonna say the thing. I know it. No, I'm just-
Oh, no. One of my favorite horror movies is the original Halloween.
Oh, okay.
One of my
John
favorite
Carpenter.
horror
Dude,
stories.
John Carpenter.
He's great.
All day.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Shout out to the Zorian one.
Shout out to JCap.
Yeah.
We're on a personal level.
Okay.
But yeah, so the original Halloween, but also the Legend of Sleepy Hollow is my favorite
Oh.
like story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, love
Love
that
it.
movie.
No, what's so funny is I grew up in a small town and one of the streets was called Sleepy Hollow.
Oh.
And as a kid, I was like, no, fuck that street. I'm not.
Oh, see, I would have been like,
Oh,
someday I'm gonna live on this.
Right, she's gonna be mine.
What's your address? Oh no, 6 Sleepy Hollow Drive. What do you want?
You know, for me though, I would think I was that dumb kid who would like, let's go at late at night and just get some beers and drink on that street.
Yeah.
Like, because I
Oh.
would do that in my hometown. Like,
It
there was
was
a
a-
haunted street, and we would go late at night and just like
Yeah.
have some
It
beer.
also had a cul-de-sac that had an entrance to the woods.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
And so we'd ride our
Then I
bikes
would
over there and be like, oh,
Definitely
damn.
live on that street.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Imagine the Halloween stuff.
No
you could do
one
with
would
that.
steal packages from my doorstep.
No, it's
Looking at you, guy who stole my glasses.
Find them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out.
that's fun.
But yeah, Halloween. The reason why I like Halloween so much is because it's a very simple story and it's very realistic. When you take away the whole Michael Myers always coming back, think about a small suburban town,
Mhm.
Halloween night. There's someone dressed up in a Halloween costume going around killing people. And the funny thing about it, in the original Halloween, you never see any blood.
Mm.
So there's ways to make things scary without a shock effect,
Right.
which is what
Mhm.
I
That's what I'm
appreciate.
saying.
Yeah. You know,
I'm on the other end of the spectrum. Like, The Thing is
Blood,
one of my
blood,
favorite
right.
movies of all time. And it's
There
all
are people
practical.
melting.
There's people melting. There's
Yeah.
things changing from dogs to humans. Like,
in a weird way, like that you brought up the like, you create this suburban world and there's someone murdering people. Like it is
Yeah.
kind of like in a weird way a black mirror of how we in society is. But like
Yeah.
I have a friend who actually works at the police station. She gets a lot of calls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And every once in a while they'll just pass around videos of like terrible things that happen. And like they're at the point where they're kind of so used to it. I wouldn't want to say desensitized because they know it's terrible.
Right.
But then they just like watch it because they're like, oh my God, like how terrible this is. Because they get phone calls of like, hey, someone hit my car. Or like, hey, there's someone with a knife in my house. And it's
Yeah.
like terrible
Yeah.
things. And one, she showed me a video and it's like this woman who like just comes out of nowhere and like stabs this kid with the knife in his face and then like attacks the family and the family doesn't even know until at the end of the video.
oh my
And then
god.
my friend looked at me in the eye and she said, stay violent. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
I was like, this is reality.
and
This
then
is
the
a
credits rolled because this is a movie. Is
Right.
that
This was real.
I hope.
Plot
And I was
twist.
like, my
That's
God.
the name of the movie, Stay Violent.
Stay violent. And I was just like, kind of that sense, like, like, again, like, keep one eye, keep your, but like horror kind of taps into that in a more
Yeah.
digestible way.
Right.
Versus like the gruesome real story that
Now
I just told.
I have two things that I have Kendrick telling me to stay humble, and now I have your friend telling me to stay violent.
Stay violent.
So like,
Stay humbly
And
violent.
violent.
Right. Balance. Balance.
So no, we were hanging out and we're at Halloween Horror Nights. I don't know if you've ever done that
I
yet.
haven't, but I
Oh,
want to.
I
So-
don't like
I worked
it.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to do it.
I got some
Me
ghost
too.
stories for you guys. It's like,
So I was out there and we were hanging out and we were talking and she's just like looking over her shoulder the entire time. I was like, what are you doing? You're making me freak out. And then she's like, you just got to stay violent. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, just be on the
Be on
watch all the
alert.
time because
Yeah.
people just do
stay
stupid
violent or vigilant?
violent.
Okay.
She said stay
Violent.
violent.
she said screw vigilant. Well, my mom, she's been in law enforcement for
Oh
24
yeah.
years.
Well,
So her way of, she kind of operates in that space too, of like, always, there's one thing that she does whenever we go into a restaurant. She goes, I want to sit facing the door.
Everyone.
I do the same
Yeah.
thing.
I do
Yeah.
that.
So now I do it. Like
Yeah.
I sit facing the door and she's like, you just got to be, she's like, you got to watch people. She's like, you got to be careful. You never know who's who or who's what. And she's had, experiences that she'll just tell me in passing, like we're folding laundry and she just drops this story on me that she went through this situation like 10 years ago. I'm like, what the hell? Is like, now you tell me? But her
You're just
whole
like, I
thing.
feel like ice cream today. How about you? She's like, yeah, one time I was shot at for an hour and a half. And you're like,
it's
whoa.
like, oh, okay. So we're not getting Rocky Road.
So
Cool.
isn't that the day that you picked me up late from
Yeah.
school?
Yes,
Oh
it
my
is.
God.
Yeah.
Is
It
that
all
what
makes
that blood
sense.
was in the car?
I was mad.
But like for
I'm so sorry.
I almost became when I was going to school, I was considering becoming a medical examiner or a criminal profiler. Something in law enforcement. My mom, she was very happy about that. And then when I told her, I was like, I'm gonna be an actor. She was like,
Logical next step.
no. Yeah, logical. It's like I'm jumping off the deep end completely.
I can
But
still play a cop someday, Mom.
and I do play a cop.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
On TV, Blue Bloods, most of my roles that I've played on TV have been cops.
Huh. Well,
Hell
look.
yeah.
She gets a kick out of it.
That's
Oh, I'm
awesome.
sure.
She's like, oh, you didn't want to be a cop, but you're playing one. I'm like, well, yeah.
But wait, what,
Fate
but-
is fickle.
But what,
Yeah.
what kind of cop are you? Like the tall, like mean kind of guy, or like the nice one that's like he's the hope at the end of the tunnel? Kind
So the ones I usually play I'm never like the mean one. I'm more like if you want to call it the hero.
Hell
kind of
yeah.
cop, or like the techie
Nice.
cop. Like I'm
first
I'm
day on the
that.
job and you save everyone in the town.
the
Hell.
rookie.
Leon Kennedy.
Yeah. But yeah, I was gonna do the whole medical feeling. I was like, I don't like blood. I realized that very quick. I was like, I
is why you
don't
like Halloween?
blood, which is like why I like Halloween.
Yeah.
So for me, I like the paranormal. I like all those things. So when it comes to horror, I think I like things that are a little bit otherworldly, or things that force you to kind of fill in the gaps. So
Conjuring,
Capture your imagination.
Conjuring,
Paranormal Activity.
The Orphanage, the others. Chucky.
It's silly.
Yeah.
Well, it's voodoo.
cute.
It's voodoo magic, quote
Yeah,
unquote.
it's cute. I was gonna say it's cute. Yeah, Chucky's
It's
cute.
terrifying. That's what it is.
Zombies.
Zombies, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Vampires.
No.
Okay, so true paranormal, like you can't see the thing.
Yeah, true paranormal is like I think
Ghosts,
like ghosts and
spirits,
everything. Yeah,
Hauntings.
because growing up, I've had like personal experiences,
Sure.
so they've kind of like stuck with me a little bit.
You ever watch that Travel Channel like
Oh my
Hauntings?
God.
Oh,
show?
I watch that
When you were
shit
growing
all
up,
the
like, that
time.
was-
I still watch it.
That
I
was my
find
jam
it.
when
I'm
I was
like,
growing up.
ooh.
Oh
I used to be
my
like, I can
God.
handle it, and then like an hour later, like, Mom, can I sleep on the floor in your room, or what's going on with that? I'm 7. Like that was terrifying. You should not have let me watch that.
I always found the Unsolved Mysteries terrifying. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I remember
That used to terrify me because
My
they'd
friends
have
used to
some
watch that
shit
all
on
the
there that
time.
I'd be like, that's
What?
real
Oh, I'm
life.
sorry, they never found
They
him.
never found him. Right.
He killed 14 people.
Also
He
in your
could be
area.
here.
Yeah. There was one time I was homesick and Unsolved Mysteries was on. And they were like, and they never found him. And I just heard a door open up. Downstairs. I was like, oh my God.
His targets were
Yeah, I
like,
found him
forget it.
right
Targets
now
are
in my
sick
home.
children home from school.
Forget that it was like 20 years ago and it was a cold case. I was like, oh, he's here to murder me. I was like, this is it.
This is my time.
Yeah.
Resurgence.
I'm
It's
gonna be an
it.
unsolved mystery.
Right.
I wanna
I
bring
will be on TV.
I want to bring this up because I thought it was pretty funny. The idea of getting murdered or dying. I brought this up the other night.
So
when I
Yeah,
read
Oh,
it.
it's
so funny.
hilarious.
Well, no. This is the funny thing. You should always worry about what you wear when you go outside.
Yes.
Because when you die, that's your ghost clothes.
Those are your ghost
Those
clothes.
are your ghost clothes.
We
Oh
just
my
watched
God, I
Hocus
didn't
Pocus
think of
last
that.
night, and when Thackeray Binks comes back in his pajamas, I leaned over to Dane and I went, "Careful what you wear."
Ghost clothes. That
He's
is-
barefoot. He's
Yeah.
got just like a shirt and some like khakis.
Those
on.
are your
All those.
ghost
Barely a
clothes.
shirt.
attractive.
Barely a shirt. It's one
Barely
of those
just
like,
like a drape.
But is it
Yeah.
comfortable?
Probably
He's
not.
not.
He's barefoot walking around on
But
crusty
he
leaves.
doesn't have feet anymore.
walk around.
He's a
Amazing.
ghost.
He's
Yeah, but he
hovering.
doesn't. Yeah,
Hovering.
he doesn't have
That's what
like
he has to
feet,
look like
feet.
for eternity, though.
Hey,
Who's upset about being in comfy PJs?
I don't think they
The
date
chill
in
guy
the
in
ghost
PJs.
world, so it's like how he looks is like just how he looks.
I don't know. I saw Coco the other night, and
That's
they got
true.
some
I feel like
relationships
it's an
going on.
accepted fact in the ghost community not to judge
Not to
people
judge,
based on their
right.
death clothes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like I'm dead and so are you.
They
Like,
point
don't
fun at
judge me.
first. I'm like,
Right.
If anybody out there in the
Right.
ghost community wants to help
Shout
us
out.
out, correct
But
us.
now I'm
Please
just
do.
gonna dress
Don't,
how I
because
sleep
that's
in
scary.
good clothes now.
Yeah.
I sleep in full jeans and a dress shirt in case I die in my
Ready to
sleep.
go. Ready to go.
With
It's like, why do you
with
have
my
a
chucks.
tux on in
Hey,
your
You
sleep?
never know.
You never know.
You never know.
wow.
I do want to turn this a
And then
little
I
bit.
see them in like a big old nightgown when- afterward. And I'm like, see,
Mhm.
And then
You
they're
blew
comfy.
it.
See, now you look like shit.
I don't even feel bad for you. You made fun of me.
Now you look like Vegeta's hair.
Right.
Oh, bringing it back.
Full circle.
Ironically, I was dressed as a
Team
ghost on
building
Halloween when I died.
96. Cool, dude.
You act. You're an actor.
Yes, yes.
So how did that come into be? Where did you decide like I'm going to start acting? I'm going to
Pursue
start.
that.
Yeah, where's the leap from medical coroner, like examiner to actor?
Medical
I know.
coroner.
Shush. Yeah. I corrected myself. I heard
Proud
it.
of you.
So
I heard it.
the acting thing, in hindsight, I realized that I had been doing it for a while. Like I was not so much a performer. I was a quiet kid, very much off to myself, but
Hell yeah.
I was very imaginative in terms of like stories.
Also me,
and
though.
all that.
Everything
But,
living in your head.
Everything living in my head. So when I was in, I say 5th grade, my buddies and I, one buddy had a camera. He used to write these stories,
Hell yeah.
and we would film it. For some reason, I was always the actor.
You're the go-to.
Yeah, I was the go-to. And I was like, oh, okay. So in high school, there was one friend, she kept trying to get me to audition for the school play. By that point, I was already singing. But she was like, you should
Well,
audition.
you sing too?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Are you like a quadruple threat?
I had a lot of time. I think for me, again, I spent a lot of time on my own. So it's like, it allowed me to really kind of explore
It's for-
what made
it's
me
going
feel
for the
good.
And
EGOT.
that's when I got
Yeah.
my Michelin star rating in my restaurant.
Right.
And
That's when I became a
Published
double,
the first
I-
book.
I have an EGOT now.
Right.
yeah.
But yeah, so I auditioned for the school play finally my senior year of high school, and that snowballed. into me auditioning for a bigger show. Like there was NJ Pack in New Jersey is like the Broadway of
Shout out.
New
Mhm.
Jersey. Shout out to NJ Pack. But yeah, so I auditioned for that, and that snowballed into so many other opportunities. And I realized I was like, I like this. This makes me feel good, and it forced me to step out of my shell a little bit
Hell yeah.
because I was very timid and very kind of quiet. In high school, I started dancing, and all of these things happened at the same time in terms of just like
Stop it.
all
That
these
needs a
things,
dancer.
like literally all these things. So acting, I figured out that's what I wanted to do, and then in college, I was like, my mom, her whole thing, she was like, do whatever you want to do, but do something that's gonna allow you to work outside of school.
Mm.
So the way I heard it, I was like, okay. So I double majored in psychology and communications with a concentration in digital filmmaking.
Oh,
So I was
I
like-
was like opposite.
Oh, really?
I took a lot of philosophy and psychology classes, but I majored in film production.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, both
So
my-
you're the better version of it.
I-
We're opposite sides.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, so I did those things, and in my head, the way they worked, because I always said, if acting doesn't work out for me, I'll go and become a therapist. And in the process, I learned to write, shoot, direct, and act all at once. And the psychology just complemented everything, because psychology is in everything.
Character
Yep.
studies.
Yeah. So
Will help people actually ingest the medium that you're talking about.
yeah. So that's basically what I did and how it came to be. And I realized, I was like, those things sound cool. And I was like, I could play those on TV.
Hell yeah.
That was
Mhm.
my
There you go.
Yep.
approach to it. So and now I'm here and doing it.
And now you do podcasts as well, Bird Brain.
Yeah.
How'd that start?
So that started with some buddies of mine, or just people being like, they're like, you give great advice. You should be like a life coach, or you should be a motivational speaker. I was like, who the hell is going to listen to me? I was like, I don't feel like I listen. But I was like, I don't feel that. I was like, no one's gonna. I don't feel like I'm so far removed from my situations that I could tell someone else how to go about things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And last year, I was like, you know what? Let me take this a little bit more serious. Let me see. Let me just try it out. It's something new. It'll be different. I'll give it a shot. And
You had some things to say.
I had some things to say, because I was like, I don't think I'll have something to talk about that will last more than a month.
He was like, hold on, Vegeta's hair though.
Yeah, Vegeta's hair.
I gotta talk about it real quick.
14 months later.
Episode
14
20 of the series.
So Vegeta's hairline and his split ends are bothering me.
Is it a widow's peak or what? Because he's
God.
married.
Yeah,
Does he shave it like that?
right. Is he losing his hair? But yeah.
Call me
So
Columby.
I went with it, and we're here a year later, and I think I figured out the bird brain. While I called it the bird brain, was that, you know, when you think of birds, everybody's like, birds are stupid. You know, birds are dumb. Their
Yeah,
brains are
bird
small.
brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, when you think about it, a bird
Not so true.
in an uncomfortable climate, it migrates to a better climate.
Yeah.
Humans, on the other hand, we stick around and we endure things that we should probably let
Don't
go
need to.
of.
Stay in
Right.
situations we
Stay
should
in
have got out of a long time ago.
Right.
Jobs we should have got out
But
of a
my
long time
ex still
ago.
has my CDs.
Wow. It's like, I don't have a CD player. I just want my CDs
Just
back.
want the
It's
CDs
principle.
Yo, I burned those.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's so I thought of it in that way, and you know, me even moving out to LA, that whole process, as you hear on the podcast, like it was me literally just willing to spread my wings a little bit and understand that my current environment was not conducive to the person I am and the
Mhm.
person that I'll need to become to get things that I want. So I left, and it wasn't planned. It was literally things were falling apart back east, and it was
Mm.
like the Phoenix process.
Mhm.
And I even have Phoenix feathers tattooed on my back. So it's
Hell
like
yeah.
There you go.
I live by the concept of always staying elevated, and always like anything that burns you, you can definitely build yourself up from it. No matter how hard it gets. And I know it's all relative, but understanding that there are ways to come out of it. And if you're going through it, the likelihood is that you are capable of getting through it. You know, we doubt ourselves sometimes in terms of like what we're capable of handling, just because it's like stressing us out in the moment. But it's like, look at what you've been to up until this
Yeah.
point. You know,
Time is funny.
time is
Very
funny.
funny.
Well, I always think of the sperm thing.
Right.
You're one of a billion sperms, and you're the one that made it.
You're the one that made it.
I think it was
Congrats.
Penn Jillette that said like the fact that you're here is mind-boggling. Like
Yes.
the odds of you specifically being here
Yeah.
is just insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So take advantage of that.
yeah. So it's like I mean, you've done so much, but like I think this is from Desperate Housewives, where it was like, well, it's like one of the lines is like
From the book of Desperate.
Right.
yeah, well, it's like I couldn't see everything because the problems were so big in my face.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I had to step back and realize
Yeah.
I could see what the problem.
The whole
actually is.
forest, they say.
Yes. Yeah.
So I
See
was
the
like,
whole forest.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that's how it happened. And then I was like, well, how do I make this mine? I was like, well, I like horror. So how do we do this? And it was like, night owl. I was like, it's still the bird concept. And I was like, I'm a night owl. I work best late at night. My mind goes crazy at 12 a.m.
Hell yeah.
It's like, ooh, let's play. Let's think about
Yeah.
all these things, you know? And that became a thing of like me just writing short horror stories and narrating them because I was like, I enjoy this.
Shout out to the night.
You know, shout out to the night. Shout out
What's
to the night. So yeah, and again, we're past a year. The year anniversary was July.
Congrats,
Awesome.
man.
Congrats.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Yeah.
Congrats.
So
That's
it's
awesome.
like no two episodes have been the same. I've written an original story since last year.
That's good. That's really good, like writing practice
awesome.
to make sure that,
Yeah.
like, even no matter what, you'll aggregate. Even if you want to reuse those, you're like, oh, because of that story, now I know what I can do with these
what I can do
characters.
with this. Yeah.
So nitty gritty like details. So it's every week.
Every week. So yes, every week, Mondays and Fridays. Being that it's October and I love October
Hell yeah.
and it
Mhm.
like gets ready for Halloween.
The
I've
greatest
been-
people are born that month.
Yeah.
I am.
Well, I personally feel like my real birthday is October 31st. Meanwhile, my birthday is actually April 1st, but October 31st feels more
There
like
you go.
my birthday.
Halloween's your favorite holiday?
Halloween's my all-time favorite holiday. I love
Yes.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Christmas,
We're gonna get along just
Thanksgiving.
fine.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna be homies for sure.
I like
I'll get
Christmas.
the
I didn't
Nightcrawler tail tattooed on
Yeah.
my back, and then we'll really be in business.
You'll be
You're
the
just gonna
Nightcrawler.
get
Yeah.
the tail
Yes.
tattooed
Well, yeah, he's got the
along your
feathers. I
back.
get the tail.
Oh, do it.
Yeah.
Is it going to come out of
I'll
the
root
crack
for
of
you.
your?
Oh, yeah,
That's
of
what
course.
is exactly what I was
Where else would
thinking.
it come
A little
from? The
tramp
middle of
stamp
my
action.
back?
But yeah, for the month of October, I've been writing 2 episodes a week. So now there's 3 episodes I'm releasing a week for the month. Of October.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
2
awesome.
horror stories and 1 happy, not happy, but more health and wellness. So,
And the quote
Expanded
mother
thinking.
the quote
Yeah.
mother show
Yeah.
Bird Brain.
yes.
That is it a different topic? Is it a story? Like what? Just to explain to our.
So, oh yeah. So the mother of the podcast, the Bird Brain podcast, is all about just clearing your mental.
for a second,
space.
I thought you forgot.
Yeah, that was like, what
is
does
this
it do?
show?
It's
but-
a talk.
Yeah.
And you listen.
Yeah, it's a
No.
talk and listen, but I think well the main component of the Bird Brain is all about life experiences and me finding a constructive way to talk about things that we all deal with.
Yeah.
Because I realize I'm not unique. My
You-
thinking about certain things.
You are, but some of the situations we are aren't unique to us.
Yes.
Mm.
And
I could be on your show. Okay.
you should. You totally should. I
One
think
might
it's-
say that we will.
Yeah.
right.
That was a camera look, just real big.
So yeah, the Monday show is all about like experiences and talking it through and having a conversation. Not talking at someone, but having a conversation and understanding that, look, I'm like you, I'm just saying certain things out loud. And I think society has made it such a thing that you have to be love and light all the time. And I think the real growth happens when you are willing to look something in the face and be like, this is shit.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
how do I look at this, or how do I feel different about it, or I'm not happy, how do I look at it in
Oh,
a
yeah.
different way?
Yeah.
It's especially just societal pressures. I'm still learning how to appreciate my mistakes.
Yes.
I'm really hard on myself
Yes,
Mhm.
same.
when I make mistakes.
Yeah.
And I just
Yeah.
it's but you know, I'm learning slowly and really like as Josh says, waterboarding myself to learn that
Hell
like
yeah.
those are the moments that I need to be super present for actually.
Super present.
And not brush under the rug.
The
Because
dark
it's a
side of the
lesson.
soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I embrace the dark side so much, because I'm like, that's where the real light is.
Well, you can't appreciate the light without the dark.
Yeah, you need balance and you need
So Jason
perspective.
Mraz says.
Yeah.
What, that's what Jason Mraz says?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's funny because like just talking about just the, I don't know, we're talking about like this highbrow existential conversation. Like
yeah.
I like living in that like tough place.
Yeah.
Because to me, like, I've always been a big subscriber of like, you learn way more from failure than you ever do from success.
Absolutely.
And if you're always uncomfortable, you'll learn to be comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If you're
Mhm.
always sitting on a nail, then you just get used to the pain.
Yeah.
And like, you just get like, I mean, there is a little bit a sense of like a grain of salt of like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but it's like, but it also almost killed you. So
Right.
you
But
will,
it also makes you stronger in the times that it's quote good. Because
yeah.
you're like, I've seen some shit.
Yeah.
Well,
I got this.
And-
Right.
and
Right.
something I like too is like, my parents are immigrants, so they came from other country and came
Mhm.
here. And like, in our country now, we have a lot of conversations about immigration and stuff like that. So I mean, like, I would never have any type of foresight to talk about it without knowing how my parents lived, right?
Yes.
And so knowing the struggles that they went through makes me empathetic for everyone that goes through it now.
Yeah.
And then so
Yeah.
like the pain that you have, like you embrace it because it allows you to travel those deeper, darker depths. And there's always deeper and darker that you can go, weirdly
Oh,
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get dark.
But it allows you to bridge that gap between you and another person. Like in a country where like, a couple, less than a billion people.
a lot.
But like, there's a lot of people, but like, we're divided by common language. We're divided
Yes.
by an inability to just kind of emotionally empathize.
Yep.
And yeah,
Yep.
it's, but then when you know that like, and that's why I think I like nerdiness so much because
Yeah.
like, oh, like you like that same thing and we can kind of then start bridging the
Identify.
pieces to it.
Yeah.
But like using that as an emotional like springboard, it's like, oh, I've been there. And one of my greatest friendships I ever had was like I went through a really bad breakup and then my friend Gabe, shout out to Gabe.
Shout out.
After school, it was just like I was like doing homework and all that stuff, and then afterwards he just like stopped me. And it was like we weren't even friends. But he just put his hand on my shoulder. He's like, "Hey man, I'm going through the same thing too."
Wow.
And I was like, "Am I that obvious?"
Am I
The
worded?
answer is yes.
But like, yeah, and so like those are the kind of things where it's like sometimes like kindness and purity and light comes from like the weirdest, darkest places.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. It's like you. I've made some amazing friends out in LA. One of my best friends, shout out to Taisha.
Shout
Shout out.
Yeah, we're frickin' fracking. Literally, she's come into my life at a very pivotal moment. And the great thing about her, it's like I always say, the people you meet are either a mirror or a window.
Mm.
Either they reflect what it is that you're putting out into the world and what you need to work on, or just who you are, or they allow you to see a different perspective. I know it's so shallow, right?
That's
But
It's straightforward.
Yeah.
It makes things make sense.
Exactly. So, like with her and I, we have been kind of a little bit of both for each other in terms of like who you are, you'll be met with that. And it's like, if you're a good person, you'll meet good. Yes, you'll meet some crap along the way, but at the end of the day, who you have in your constant space is going to reflect exactly who you are and what you put out into the world. And she's been a great reminder for me. And it's like, when I came out here, I didn't know anybody. And 2 years, my 2-year anniversary was a couple weeks ago.
Oh, congrats again.
Thank you. It's been like I the reason why I love LA so much is because it's like I was willing to take flight
Yes.
and
Mhm.
just start from scratch, and I was very much trusting that whatever is meant to happen is going to happen, and that's how I live life. And it's like my faith, as blind as it is sometimes, is very strong, and a lot of times it's my gut feeling that I'm like things are going to work out.
But
You know?
people,
Yeah.
people,
you
people
know.
get attracted to that gumption. That
Yeah.
they really like because I think we live in also a place where a lot of people are very unsure of things,
Yes.
and it's very hard to know what's a hard truth, a personal truth, or a political truth.
Ooh, yeah.
And then if someone has their own strong, very there's nothing really wrong with the personal truth, right? It's
Yeah.
like I know that there are terrible people out in the world, but I know that the goodness out of one person
Well,
outweighs all that.
I think one of the
Yes.
one of the most important things is to learn to trust your own gut and to trust yourself.
Yes.
And that you can make the right decision when the time comes. So that
And even
when-
if you do make the wrong decision,
Yeah.
you're going to be able to handle.
handle it and make it okay.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
and that's kind of how I've lived my life to a degree, just because I can have brain organizational problems. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm just going to trust that I've been through enough of
To get
these
through this.
situations to understand that I can make that in the moment decision when I need to.
Yeah.
And I don't have to necessarily like plan out my entire life and live by a script and all those things. And because it's at the end of the day, that stuff's impossible. You can prepare as much as you can.
and
But the
then
world's
life
going to throw
happens.
whatever it wants to
Life.
throw at you.
Life happens.
Life's
And-
like, that's cute.
Yeah, it's like, well,
Plot twist.
This is
that's
what's
shocking.
actually happening
Right.
now for you. So you're
Welcome
like,
to your third
okay.
act.
Right. Oh,
And
there's
That
a
was
third.
me recently.
Once I
Yeah.
learned to kind of embrace that and to kind of and to empower myself in that way,
Yeah.
that's when I think you can kind of get back to your life
Yeah.
and like enjoy your life
Yes.
and enjoy
Yeah.
the good things.
Yeah.
Because if you're constantly worrying about the bad and the negative and what's going to happen
You
and
miss
how
out.
am I going to deal with this, and you miss out.
Yeah.
Life is happening to you at that point.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
I do want to bring up one thing. So in all your episodes, you talk about your infinity.
yes. Yes.
Elaborate what that means. Because when I heard it, I was like, that sounds cool. And I feel like I don't know what all it means.
Right.
Haven't
So-
cracked the code yet.
the Da Vinci Code.
Yes.
So the slogan is rise above it all, stay elevated, and create that infinity. So that just means that continue the process of always wanting to do better, but also continuing the process of, again, what you put out into the world. Trust that you're going to get it back. And the people you meet along the way that are on the same path, you guys create that infinity where it's like this hand washes this hand and everybody's kind of taking care and looking out for each other. So that's what the infinity
We're all
is.
one.
We're all one.
Universal tribe.
Yeah. Universal tribe. And you find your tribe.
We're all out here trying to do some stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this.
We out here.
Trying to.
Well,
we out here.
and it's
When it
always-
comes down to it, that's like what it is. We're all
It's always
trying.
better to like come up and bring other people with you up. Like there's only so much space up here for so
Yeah.
many people. That
Yeah.
doesn't exist. Like
Right.
you can bring everybody up with you
Yeah.
rather than stepping on other people because they'll remember that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the tough thing, and I think it's a realistic point, is that America has been brought up on competition breeds greatness, and
Yeah.
I think that's in sports, that's in popularity, that's in money,
Everything.
social status,
Political.
and like,
Yeah.
I think a real big reason why we kind of all stuck and banded together to make this podcast, and as I'll say in Josh's words, instead of competitive gaming, it's cooperative gaming,
I like that.
and so
Mhm.
like talking about like
My
with
Thank you,
video
because
games
I
and
was
stuff
going to go, I always think, but Tom did it for me.
Favorite
Aw.
type of gaming. is
I love
cooperative
it.
gaming.
I like competitive still.
I know you do.
But I do.
But
the
there's
thing-
also people don't draw a line between there is such a thing as friendly competition, and that can breed
yeah.
the same type of creativity and greatness.
Except when
Yeah.
you get every star in Mario Party.
Look, I'm not here to
This dude.
say,
have
I'm
nothing
the
to say.
best, but
but I've never lost Mario Party.
there's also a thing with that competition. It's not the cutthroat competition. It is the like, hey, I kicked your ass. Let me show you how I did it, and then so you
No.
can kick everyone else's ass.
I'm not showing you anything.
Okay, someone
That's
wants
cute.
to go.
That's cute.
That's cute.
Josh, bring down one of the games we're gonna play.
Well,
Whatever.
it's crazy. I think 007 and like Mario
Oh.
Party and Mario Kart growing up. That's how you lost friendships. It's like if you really
Oh,
want to
Odd
figure
job
out.
those guys.
slappers.
That's how
Yes.
you. That's how you tested friendships.
Amen.
There you
Yes.
go. Yeah.
Like,
Catan is
oh.
how you end it.
Yeah,
Right.
you said some really nice things to me recently. I just want to test our friendship.
Slappers only.
Proximity
mines only.
Proximity mines.
Proximity mines. With
Yes.
So really quick, so you produce everything that's Birdbane
Birdbane.
Birdbane.
Birdbrain
That's the new
related.
show.
So
Yes.
you edit it, you do all that fun stuff.
Yeah. So edit it, compose some songs on there.
Damn.
The guitar is so in the theme song of the Bird Brain, like that started from me just strumming on the guitar a little bit and recording it and then just kind of playing with the waves.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would listen to it and I was like, this makes me feel good. I'm like, this puts me in a good mood. I was like, how about I'm gonna throw it into this and just see what happens. And one of the things we were like, I like that song. I'm like, really? I was like, it was just something I
Yeah.
was messing with one day.
Who's it by? Me.
But again, like
everything.
some of my best art pieces are literally from my darkest days. So like a lot of what I put out into the world is literally coming from a space of me working through some very dark stuff.
Are you a fan of Kevin Smith?
I mean,
Because he first did Clerks and then he
Yeah.
got into Sundance when he was 24 or 26, and then he did
Really young.
That's
Chasing
crazy.
Amy. Then he did
Mhm.
Dogma,
Yeah.
and a lot of people say like those were his 3 greatest films,
Uh-huh.
and he will go on record and say like those are when I was at my worst.
Yep.
Mhm.
He's
Mhm.
like, if you like that Kevin Smith, it's because you want the guy who was not married, who was unhappy, who was not taking care of himself.
Yeah.
The guy I make now, and I make my films on now, like I'm happy. So like a lot of people don't like it. It's like, but to get me back to that place, you want to take away my family. You want to
Right.
take away
Yeah.
all the things that make me happy.
Yeah.
And it's tough. And it's interesting because like the creative process, the darkness can yield great things.
Yes.
But also knowing the duality that like that's not always the case.
It's
too.
not always the case.
Because you
Nope.
sometimes like even though you're in a dark place because you're going through like a social situation,
Yep.
you still gotta eat, you gotta sleep, you gotta
gotta survive.
you gotta do some
dishes.
things like like maybe you can do like one of those like stints of like, oh, I'm starving. Let me write when I'm like starving so I can kind of feel how that goes. But then sometimes like I need food. I need to
Yeah.
work
Mhm.
because now I just want to cry and go to bed.
Sometimes I'll just bake a cake when things really get like thick. Is like
Hell
I'll
yeah.
just go and bake, and
Yes.
Nice.
that's my thing too. Like cooking and baking. I think I learned that
Love
from my
cooking.
mom.
I wasn't kidding about the
Mhm.
Michelin star rating. I was right. I was totally right.
But
Dude's on his way.
and also I want to talk about like so we're talking a little bit about bird brain. We're talking also about wellness and
Yeah.
our how we treat ourselves and how we
Yeah.
go through things. I want to talk about like personal health as well as like so you're a trainer
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
And I mean there's a lot of muscles. The big muscle man.
Photoshop.
Think of me and then the opposite of that. That's like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I
see
mean
it.
there's a strong wind I'm done.
have you always been active in terms of sports or like has training something that you ran into? How important is it throughout your life? And do you think how that falls into creating that affinity?
Oh man, so I was never much, which is the funny thing. So my brother and sister, they're both the athletes of the family. I was
The
more of
fuck?
the
I'm sorry.
bookworm, yeah. And they're like 5'4". My brother, he's sprouting, but like they were always the athletes. For me, I was in the books. The sport.
You're the nerd.
I am the nerd. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Tom.
I don't ever want to hear a compliment anymore ever again. Everyone's like, "Oh, Tom, you look." I was like, "Shut up."
Yeah, well,
Noted.
yeah, it was
Sure, man. Whatever you say. No more compliments. Cool.
I think in terms of sports, the most I've done was martial arts. I did track and field a little bit. I was a thrower in high school, but I found the gym on my own in college. And again, I realized that I enjoyed working out just because for me it was a different form of therapy.
Yeah.
And it was very cathartic. Yeah, the pain was there, but I also felt good. I felt better. I always wanted to go back and I looked better. And
You do,
thank you.
Than me.
you nerd.
You nerd. So I got my training certification a couple years back
That's
because again, someone was like, "Oh yeah, you should be a trainer." I'm like, I don't want to tell people what to do. It's like that's not my shtick. But then I realized, again, we're in a society where everyone pretends that they're okay, and I think the best way to take care of yourself is, push your limits.
Hell yeah.
Lift some shit
Dragon
that's
Ball Z,
heavier
baby.
than you. Yeah, the Dragon Ball Z is like
Hyperbolic time chamber, 1,000 times gravity.
Go crazy.
Hell yeah.
But I also remind people too, it's like dealing with mental health and everything like that, like bouts of depression and things like that I've experienced. I exercise. So yes, it's a primary component in my life. And sometimes I just go to the gym. Some days are better than others, but I'll lift and I feel better than I did prior to.
Right.
So
Because you have something to overcome.
you have something to overcome. Everything is a little challenge if you're willing to put it in that perspective. So, physical fitness now it's a daily thing for me. Even on days I don't go to the gym, I'm mindful of
No rest day?
when I rest here and there, but
Maybe just a little cardio. Or
yeah,
yeah.
just a little cardi.
I just bought a pull-up bar, so I'm doing great.
Nice.
Yesterday.
Dude, you're so swole.
I bought it yesterday.
you are
What
thick.
is your
Can you
your
tell?
like workout regimen?
Oh, okay. So
Hell yeah.
my workout regimen.
I need to get those boulder shoulders.
So I don't even know how I got these because my rotator
Well, can you
cuffs are
shut
shot.
up?
But but
Yeah, but can you do 3 pull-ups like I can?
Yeah.
So- oh,
At one point I
I'm
was
just kidding.
doing 20, but now I'm like down to 12. But
I
my
can
workout,
do like 1.5.
we'll up that game before the year
Hell
is
yeah.
over.
Elevate you.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I want to do
Yes.
infinity pull-ups.
Infinity pull-ups.
Infinity.
Just huge.
Yeah.
But I do legs. I think
form.
like twice a week, or sometimes 3. I incorporate like legs is my thing primarily because I have bad knees. So it's like I work out the muscles around my knees to support myself.
That's
So many
smart.
things coming
Yeah.
full circle.
Yeah.
I get it.
So it's
But I mean, also, like, you don't walk on your hands. So, I mean,
Right.
like, you're going to need those legs to walk
yeah,
around.
your legs are your foundation, and it's like you got to stand firm. So I train legs, and I enjoy it, and
Does
I
that
do
help with
chest
your
and-
knees? Because I also have shitty knees.
Yeah, I do workouts that
I got
focus
bad
on
knees.
like I said, the muscles that hold your knees in place.
Yeah.
What is that? I've noticed. Is that like hamstring? Is that calf? Is that thigh? Is
Your
that-
quads are a big component.
that's the big meaty ones in the front,
yeah,
right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay, my quads are pretty big,
yeah, thick.
but my glutes maybe not.
Got to get them glutes. So squats. You do some
I
squats.
just ate rice a lot when I was a kid, so I just
Uh-huh.
had big thighs too. So.
Oh my god.
Oh man, but yeah, like that's my workout regimen. I work out about 5-6 days a week. I incorporate
Cordia.
Jersey, I incorporate cardio. I do chest, arms, a full body. I make sure.
So
like
each day is like a different part of the body, like
Yes.
arms, chest,
Yeah.
back, legs, core.
sometimes it's a full circuit.
You got to change it up because you get that you plateau, and then your muscles actually get used to it, and then you
You
don't
gotta
get
do that muscle confusion.
Yeah,
Yes.
you don't get any gains.
confuse the hell out of your muscles.
Yeah.
It sucks.
What are we doing today? I don't know.
We'll figure it
And the
out.
arms are like, oh no, I thought we were resting.
Yeah. So yeah, I do a little bit of. I try to incorporate everything, and I love running. So it's like
Tom is like,
I'll
what?
run.
Hiking? Do you like hiking?
Yeah. Love hiking.
Me.
Yeah.
I love hiking.
Yeah.
So that's like I love
That's your
that.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't do it enough.
I don't live close enough to do it like regularly. I used to
Yeah.
when because I'm from San Francisco originally.
Oh, sick. Okay.
And I used to live like within walking distance of like a gorgeous hike. I used to go 3 or 4 times a week. That was my exercise
It's great.
because I don't get tired of it. Like
Yeah.
it's something I can do.
Also, what Kevin Smith does every
I know. Hey.
Yep.
But ever since moving to LA, I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
I-
just live. It's like you want to go for a hike. Yeah. All right. Well, let's drive 30 minutes to the hike, I guess.
And
Right.
now we're here.
And
Let's
now we're
go
here.
home.
I'm already tired. It was a half-hour drive.
I'm very much like the
So I bought a pull-up bar yesterday, and now
I'm
There
like
you
the
go.
hesitant girlfriend that'll go with him to hike. I'm like, I don't like hiking.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like-
love it.
I like treadmill. I like running.
I
don't
hate
like
the
hi-
treadmill.
I
Me
like-
too.
okay, well,
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That hurts my knees.
That
I like
actually
running
does-
outside.
That actually is really bad for your knees.
Yeah.
Is it really?
It is.
Mhm.
The best thing you can
I
run
actually
on
running,
prefer-
running on a treadmill is really bad.
It's
you gotta
hard.
do dirt or
Actually.
grass.
I do incline it, but I do it like a fast walk.
I
pace.
have like
Okay.
weird ligaments. I
Yes.
actually like moved my leg weird once, and the ligament on the inside of my knee rolled to the outside, and I had to keep it at a 90-degree angle from my knee, and then a 90-degree angle to my body for like a week until it decided to flip back.
It's like,
Fun.
okay, you learned
So
your
you
lesson.
like treadmills
Don't
or
do
So
it
what's
again.
I
going on?
love treadmills
What do we get-
because
what do
the
we get now?
ground is the same every time.
But
Yeah.
wouldn't ellipticals be better?
Yeah.
I have used ellipticals.
Why am I
prefer-
asking? Wouldn't ellipticals be better?
yeah.
No, I like them fine. It's just I feel like I get more work out of a treadmill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
your body's getting that shock and feedback.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, ellipticals are it's better because it's low impact. So that would be a better
I've done that. I've
I
done
have bad
both.
feet, so I have to do elliptical.
So
like
you-
running
yeah.
is like
Running-
my body's like, nope.
It's
listen.
like hell.
Running is a very humbling experience, whether you're good at it or bad at it. I think every time you learn how difficult it is.
Guys, we're getting a training
Period.
session right
Yeah.
now. By the way.
No,
yeah,
I'm-
so it's like
I'm terrible. I run really
Mhm.
fast for a minute.
10 seconds.
yeah,
And then I'm
Yeah,
like,
there
that's
you
it.
No
I'm good.
endurance.
Natural
I
sprinters.
did track and field too. I did
Yeah.
short sprints and high hurdles
Okay.
because I don't have no longevity when it comes to running. I'm awful. Like my short distances are really fast,
Mhm.
but then once you get me to a mile, it's like.
And I was the
no.
long distance.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, Gimli.
So here's
I know.
a
Very dangerous in the
nerdy-
short distance.
One of the things that helped my running a few years ago is this app called Zombies Run.
Oh,
yeah. That's really good.
Ooh. So
Oh yeah.
That was
what?
that
good.
do?
So
That
it's, it's an app that like uses like the maps in the same way like GPS does, and then
Mhm.
there's be zombies around you, and then it makes you run
Oh,
around.
okay.
Yeah.
Let me see
Oh.
this.
That was
This
like
looks
a-
awesome.
You literally like are
Oh,
completing
is that an
quests.
augmented reality
Yes.
thing where you
Yeah.
can see them?
Sort.
You're getting
you
medicine.
can't see them.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can't
yeah.
see them. You can
Oh,
hear
It's
them.
just
okay.
coming in
Oh.
through your
Auditory.
headphones.
Yeah.
So like it'll start with like, oh, the radio's coming over. You're already out in the field.
Mhm.
And then they're like, okay, we're watching you. We
Yeah.
can see that you're heading over to the thing. You're going to turn left over here. And it's already using the GPS. So it knows that you're going to take a left or whatever.
Mhm.
Just downloaded it.
And then
Change your life.
they'll be like, oh shit, there's zombies coming. So it gets you to run faster so that you raise your heart rate.
Mhm.
When
And then when it'll slow down after a little while.
Yeah.
when shout out to my friend Jarrell. What he taught me during
Jarrell?
track. Jarrell.
Jarrell.
Oh, I think they
Don't-
said Jor-El as in.
No, it's based off Jarrell. Don't give me that face. It's a real name.
Okay, great.
It's real life.
It's a
Great.
real name.
Awesome.
I know somebody
aggressive,
named
super
Your
Kal-El.
friend from Krypton. Go
There's
ahead.
that dark side.
You know,
coming out.
Well, the only reason I was like, I made fun
Your
of him.
Kryptonian friend
I
guy.
made fun of him a lot with that name. But my
Oh.
friend Jarrell, he would tell me it's like run the long and jog and walk the shorts of a track.
Yeah.
Run the long and jog the shorts.
Yeah.
Straights.
Yep.
Yeah.
Run the
So
Yep.
it's like you
Yeah.
get used to that sprint,
Yep.
jog, sprint, jog,
Yeah.
sprint, jog, and just keep doing that until you die.
Yeah.
Until you die.
Until you die.
That's
Well,
even what my
to
track
help-
teacher said.
Run the long distance and walk the short.
Yeah.
I would just jog the short
Yeah.
and sprint the long.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, I don't want to stop running. Because for me, it's like if I'm already in my flow, I feel like once I stop, I'm gassed.
You
Yeah.
got
It's
your
like
heart
it's
rate
hard
up
to get-
already. You don't
Yeah.
want to go down.
So it's like I'll
necessarily.
jog
And the startup
you know,
energy
whole
to
ass.
go again is like hard.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
zombies run really help.
Kick your ass.
All right,
Oh.
I'm gonna try this, and I'll
Yeah.
get back to you on it.
Listen, it's gonna change your life.
Because I think with that, with the pull-up bar, guys, changing my life.
you'll be a machine.
I think he'll lose some
Climb,
weight.
there's zombies
Yeah.
under you. Climb.
You're
You're
gonna be-
already a stick we feel bad for.
Hey,
Aw.
that's true.
I love it. Well, you hear the zombies in your head, and it's like the faster they're running,
Oh,
and if you're not running fast enough, you
They
hear
get
them
louder.
breathing. Yeah.
Wow.
I love
so
that.
like for
I'm into that.
Horrifying.
my
I'm into
fastest mile time from that app because of that app was like 5:50.
Oh my god.
I was gunning it. Yeah, and I was running at night because I was like I'm
Wow.
a little masochistic.
Oh
so I was
yeah,
like,
apparently.
let's
Why
book.
would you do that
Yeah.
at night?
It helped my
Oh,
mile
I
time.
bet
he
it
likes
did.
the
It's like
darkness.
it's dark.
Yeah, I love
That's not
darkness.
even in my like 15-year-old prime when I was on track and field. I still got like a 7:30.
Really?
mile.
Oh man.
My best time was a 6. I was like,
Five.
I did what? I'm sorry. You timed me at what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I was in track. I was heavier. Like I was a bigger kid, so I wasn't a runner or anything like that.
Well, you
I
look
was
like a
just
machine.
shot putter.
right now.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You
I'm
could
a
probably
well-oiled machine.
kick all of our asses right now.
No, I'm
Maybe
a-
not Caitlin's. I don't
I'm
know.
a gentle giant.
I'm
I
the
don't-
one you
I don't
can't fight.
but
That's-
still giants.
Yeah, it's like I yeah.
He'll, he'll do the thing where he holds the head and they're swinging.
Yeah,
He can't quite reach his body.
Do you
He's
think
like,
Godzilla wanted
"Till
to
you're
kill
done,
those
I'll do this
people?
till you're
Right.
done."
Godzilla probably wanted to kill a little
No,
bit.
he didn't know Walter White was there.
Yeah.
No,
All
I'm
right.
Team Phoenix, so it's like I don't.
That's
I don't-
true. That's true life.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Team Phoenix.
Team Phoenix.
But thanks again
Yeah.
for
Yeah, thank
taking
you
the
so-
time
You
to
know,
be on the
real
show.
quick, where can
Yeah.
people find Bird Brain, find you if they want to follow?
Oh man, so if you want to follow and stay up to date, you can follow the Bird Brain Podcast on Instagram, the Bird Brain Po1 on Twitter. I don't know why I did that. The
Because
Discord-
Twitter's funny.
Twister,
Yeah.
Twitter is funny.
And also,
Twister's
Twizzlers
funny.
are funny.
And
They
Twizzlers are
are.
funny.
Red Vines all day.
Spirally.
Oh, yeah.
Vines all
Red
day.
Vines?
Mm.
No.
All
Twizzler?
day. It's okay. My
Twizzler.
wife and I have this. She's a Twizzler, but only the peel and pull.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm
So it's
there
kind
with
of
you.
like a,
Yep.
a vine, though.
Yeah, but I'm Red Vines all day. Team Red
Oh.
Vines. Especially
Yeah.
because they came out with a Simply Red Vines, where it's like no high fructose. No
I
nothing.
guess he's
Oh.
not going to be on the episode with you then.
Yeah, right? It's like, well, you
I'll
like Red
bring
Vines.
Twizzlers. I just won't have any. So more for you. I should be on
I
the
love
podcast.
it. So yeah, like you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, the Discord community, Podcast Junkie, and you can listen Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher,
All the
Podchaser, I think,
places.
all the places. We're on YouTube now. I don't know how that works just
Oh,
yet,
hell
but
yeah.
that's there. You'll just see like audio waves, but
Nice.
I'm gonna start shooting some more little shorts for the Night Owl episodes.
Oh.
Nice.
Because it's like I want to
Oh,
make.
you wanna
a
shoot it?
visual. Oh hell yeah,
You let me know.
I will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We just shot a short 2 days ago.
Really?
Also me, actor
Yeah.
person.
Oh, I'm always looking for more actors and people to collaborate with. So
Yeah, all of us
yeah.
have.
we have
Pretty much
a,
all of us,
We
yeah.
have a
Oh,
production.
really?
We have a
Yeah.
production company, Tom and I, called We Are Storyboard. But
I'm not an actor.
You're
I'm
not an
only the
actor?
guy behind the camera.
Everybody's an actor.
No.
no, he
Everybody's
really
an
isn't. I tried for 4 years.
No,
now.
there's more. There's
I've tried. For
there's
4
more
years.
talented people, and I think they're more disciplined in that thing. I recognize that, and I understand, and I
You
want to
accept
elevate
it.
them.
Blessed.
Aww.
I
You're
shine the
good.
spotlight for them, not for me.
Wow, one of
I'm
the
behind
few
the camera.
times I feel empowered by Tom.
I don't
Before
know
I've
if
been
you
cut
stick,
down at the
you
ankles.
stick around
I
him
love
for a
it.
while. You'll get empowered.
And then I'll say, okay, so that's good, but could you act better?
Yep.
So
Yep.
that was
Yep.
cute. So I
But,
need you to
Yeah,
be better.
So when
There
you're
it
ready to
is.
act,
Yeah.
So can you be more Twizzler, less Red Vine?
Let's red Vine. Thank you. But yeah, I want to start shooting some more stuff. So I would definitely be hitting you guys up. And yeah, just those are the places you can find me.
nice.
Right on.
And,
Dope.
yeah, you guys been dope. So
This has been fun.
Thank you for being on
Thomas
the
Stay.
show.
Thank you.
yeah, it's been
Thomas
cute. It's been
Day.
real cute.
It's been interesting.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah.
interesting.
Cute.
It's been interesting, a little
Yeah.
cute. You know, it's been, you know.
Well, everybody at home, thank you so much for listening. Please do check out Bird Brain Podcast, Night Owl, his Friday show. do all the thing. Thank you, Corey.
Ready for my close up.
But
Little
yeah,
thumbs up.
check us out if you are new to Nerd On. Nerdon.tv has all the things. We have 4 different podcasts, so check that out. We have a YouTube channel. We've got all sorts of fun stuff going on, but do check that out. Nerdon.tv is the easiest one-stop shop for it all. Share us with your friends, your family. Stop by, rate, and review.
Become part of the Nerd On Nation.
Yes.
Today.
The Nerd On Nation, powered by Patreon. Nerdon.io/Patreon. But yeah, that's the stuff. That's the things. We appreciate you all. Love you. You know the drill. As always,
Nerd on.
That part.
Yes.
Ending broadcast.